Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Cachet, and let's get a little bit more light. Okay, ooh, not too bright now. All right, try to figure it out, y'all. Like, ooh, there it is. Ooh, is that too much? Bring it back, I'm Cachet, and you're watching Shay with the Hobbies. I be reading, I be writing, I be creating. I want to thank you so much for giving me some of your time this evening. We are back like we never left. Y'all know the summer is always a thing for me. And May and June, whatever. We're here though. We're on our third to the last week of this read along. We are. Is this where we are? Hold on, no, I'm a little bit. Yeah.
I forgot I was muted. Like this is the end over here. We're here.
Yeah. We like right here. We still got obviously like quite a bit to go, but we're getting close to the end and whatnot.
Yeah.
We're getting close to the end. So, thank y'all for rocking with us. And with that, I'm gonna let my lovely, beautiful, amazing co-host introduce herself for y'all.
Hi everyone. My name is Nicole. My channel name is Who Picked This Book. You can find me on a lot of social media platforms with some variation of that name. But I am over there writing and talking about romance, everything romance. Love the HEAs. But yeah, and it gets weird sometimes, but we love it. Here we are.
We do love it, and like she's not kidding when she says she reads romance. Okay, so I just want y'all to truly understand that the lady reads a lot of romance,
A lot of romance.
of romance. And y'all know that is not at all my forte at all. But when I want a good rec, there's only one channel I go to, and that's truly the truth of it. Like when I go to a good romance rec, I'm going in Nicole's channel. So be like me, follow greatness, subscribe is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Also, am I stalling because while Nicole was talking, I realized that the description box wasn't updated? Yes, I did. And am I updating it? Yes, I am. Why? Because I know how to multitask. Kind of, sort of. Kind of,
yeah. These things do happen.
Hey, you know that much noise. Wait a minute now.
Titan said, talk to me.
Right, no, that's Cleo too. And I don't know why.
Cleo's usually the quiet one.
Right? So Titan makes the most noise. Cleo has the loudest bark. That's the thing I can tell them apart. Is her bark sounds like she gonna really mess somebody up in comparison to his. Yeah, I was talking about you, but it was not an invitation to come over here. We're not.
It's like, oh, you said my name. You said my name.
You said Cleo, so that obviously meant that you wanted to talk to me. No, madam, it didn't. Okay, did I just save the description box? I did. Now let's say hi to the people. Hey, because I've done the adult thing. Alicia and Pat talking to each other. Hail to Queen Shay and go by Nicole. We love Nicole. Hey, did you have the movie night? No, Janice.
Not yet.
Janice. Yes, it's Janice, not Janice. Right? No, we have not had it yet. We are probably next month because I guess we're going 2 weeks into July. It wouldn't hurt us to do 2 more weeks of watching the movies. Honestly, but we haven't talked about it yet, so.
But I'm down for anything.
The crazy part is we talk every day. We literally just did not talk about that. That's we talk every day. It just did not happen. Two of the best people. Oh, shakes. I just hung out with Alicia for an hour because she's part of the Crime Readers of Color book club. And we talked about this book, which I'm not going to talk about on the screen, but we talked about it. So, if you want to hear unfiltered comments, you should join the book club. And then you get to hear us talk about a book a month. It's fun. Pass it, follow, especially if it's B blackity black, blah, blah. Y'all seen the tweet today? Yes. How are you? Are you having a great Tuesday? I hope you had a good weekend. I hope everyone made it through the weekend after, America decided to, play with people's lives and whatnot. I hope today that you guys are like, hey, I needed a breath of fresh air and you came to see me and Nicole, and we're going to give y'all some giggles as we talk about what we read this week. With that, what was your favorite story this week? So I will say, of what I read this week, I I thought the first story, the Byron and Miss Chaworth, was really interesting. Like I was like, huh. I thought this was like, and it was so short.
Yeah.
For it to be so interesting was like really good to me. And then the other one that I liked that did not end how I thought it was going to end, but I think is one of the stories that like cements why people think this man is obsessed with death was dang it, I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Let me go back to it. It's the one where the man and his wife and sisters are on the boat, but like
the Oblong Box.
The Oblong Box, yes.
Yeah.
Because like y'all couldn't tell me we wasn't gonna meet a vampire by the end of it. I just knew. I just knew it was a vampire. Now
I know.
Every night you was opening this box to look at this corpse and closing it back, bruh. I just feel like
I know.
it was romantic how you like went back to the boat to get it and like jumped into the ocean with it. I thought it was like, I'm not gonna leave my wife behind, but the realization that every night you opened her casket.
Yeah.
It is like this is the 1800s, so I know it smelled funny. Y'all didn't have what we have now. I know she was right. It was hot and stormy. Y'all was on a boat. There was a lot of air. I just feel like it wasn't well ventilated.
There had to be smells in that hallway.
There had to be. And he said something about smells at one point. Like he said something about it being like a strong order, I felt. And I just was like, the way that I knew it was a casket from jump. Now I thought it was an undead person, but I knew it was a casket. What? Why did you think it was a picture? Like I was so lost at where I was like, I just was really trying to understand where he got picture.
I know. That's what I was thinking. I was like,
and he stood fast to this idea that it was a picture.
He did. He was like,
never wavered.
No, he was like, I'm not wrong. This is a picture. This man loves art. I'm like, sir.
The part that got me was when he was like, now I should have known that like he liked to gas stuff up. But like when I seen his wife, I was like, do his eyes work? Like low key, the way that whole section of him trying to say this man's wife was not as fine as this man led him to believe was hilarious to me.
It was so funny.
Like, yo, if this was like shading somebody in the 1800s was a whole nother thing.
Right.
Like,
it's like you didn't outright like say it. You did like.
Nah, he said some pretty. Hold on, I'm gonna read what he said for those of us.
He did. He was just like,
because y'all, it was. I was like, bro, you did not have to come for her face like that. He said, like, okay. Mrs. Wyatt had been closely veiled, and when she raised her veil in acknowledging my bow, I confessed that I was very profoundly astonished. I should have been much more so, however, had not long experience advised me not to trust with too implicit a reliance the enthusiastic descriptions of my friend, the artist, when indulging in comments upon the loveliness of woman. When beauty was the theme, I well knew with what facility he soared into the regions of the purely ideal. The way it sounded like he said this man think with his little thing was hilarious. So then he says, the truth is, I could not help regarding Mrs. Wyatt as a decidedly plain-looking woman. If not positively ugly, she was not, I think, very far from it.
That's a little harsh. That's a little harsh.
I was like, he said she was not, I think, very far from it. He said if she ain't ugly, she's super close. Like they like next door neighbors. I was like, yo.
She's right there. I was like, wow,
you come for her like that. It made me feel away. It did.
And he's like, my friend may be blind. I don't know.
It did. I was like, why he come for her like that? I don't understand. Why did he do that? And I was just, so then when it gets to the end and you find out what all it was, I was like, this goes to show how dark we think you are. Because in my head, it was totally gonna be a vampire. And then this man was taking his wife's body somewhere else to be buried, I guess. But he didn't want people to be upset that she was there. So he was like, we gonna act like she's still alive. And I mean, the dude was like, no, I get it, because had not, nobody would have wanted to get on the boat.
Yeah, no, they didn't want to sail with a dead body.
But here's the other part is, y'all don't know how she died. So, like, what if it was a contagion?
Right?
And it said she like suddenly died. Like, not it was supposed to. And now it makes me think, did y'all postpone this whole trip for a week because she died? So that they could do something to her body to make it easier to transport? I got
questions. But yeah, it's just like, well, yeah, that's, I mean, I guess it wasn't that common back then to like transport dead bodies for burial in like different countries. So it's just like wherever you died, that's where you were buried. You know, it didn't matter if you had family like somewhere else.
I mean, that still happens here.
Yeah.
Like my cousin, when what happened to him happened in Florida, like they were going to bury him in Florida. We had to pay to get him back here. And if we couldn't have paid to get him back here, which he ended up having to be cremated because we couldn't pay to get him back here.
Yeah.
Like, that's a thing. So even in the story, I was just like, this is interesting.
Yeah. And I honestly thought vampire too. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll get another vampire story. No, she was dead. And yeah, that it did not go how I thought it was going to go either. So that was surprising. So I liked that one too. Did you have another one that you liked, or is that one? And you said Byron and Miss Chaworth. Yeah,
the Byron, Miss Chaworth, the Chaworth I liked because like it reminded me of, and if you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, you'll find out a lot more about this tomorrow morning when the video drops. Haha. But this relationship in where my ex was like, the scariest part about dating you as a writer is what happens if you stop writing. Like, I'm always worried what happens when you stop writing about me or I stop being your muse, like how that changes. And so like when reading the story, it made me think about that because it was like she was his muse, right? Like she was the reason that he did what he did. And in the story, she seemed to only be enthralled by him when he was doing that thing that he did because of her. And so it was just the idea of that for some people, what makes you attractive is that thing that you're good at, whatever it is. It's not necessarily you, but it's that light that you have when you're doing your thing. And I liked the idea of it. And I liked how you were able to like display that in like 5-6 paragraphs. I just thought it was, I thought it was, again, another reason why we say classics. Like, I saw it.
Classics. Yeah, I honestly I don't really know a whole lot about Lord Byron or his love life because I don't think I've ever read any of his poetry. But I kind of wanted to learn a little bit more about him. For sure. He's a real person. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Teach me something then, girl. Okay, so this is
yeah. So this was
he not handsome, or was she just tripping? Because you know, with the way that Edgar Allan be telling it, he could have been positively ugly. Positively ugly, and it's not far from it. Like
close to it. Right. But yeah, they were real people, and so it was around. I actually learned that it was around this time a lot of people were reading Lord Byron's work. And so a lot of people were really invested in kind of like the romance between Lord Byron and Miss Chaworth, or however you say her name. And so this was actually Edgar Allan Poe wrote that short story at the request of a publisher. Like he didn't even write it. Like someone requested.
Kind of like IP kind of like thing. Like when they contract you to write something. Interesting.
Right. He wrote smut before there was smut. Nice. Now I definitely want to read it.
Right now I'm intrigued.
So yeah, I thought that was a little bit interesting. It's just, I definitely want to look into that for sure.
What were your let's say hi real quick. real quick. Hey, fam, it's so good to see you. Thank you. I hope work is going good and you're doing good. Tell the wifey I said hey. Miss Maya, for those of you guys who don't know, Maya co-hosts with me on Short Story Saturdays, and she also streams on Twitch as well as fam Ty streams on Twitch as well. Hero Smoke before there was smut. Tanika said Lord Byron. Also, hey Tanika, I don't think I said hello earlier. Hello, Queen. Sorry. Lord Byron was a bisexual disaster according to historians. Ooh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued
the girlies
now.
be talking. The girlies be talking.
So
Okay. What was your favorite this week?
I really liked the Oblong Box. I really, really did. And I, for reasons that you had stated, kept me guessing, but I just had to laugh at the narrator in that story because, like, seriously, how did you think that was art supplies? I don't understand. What a unique way for someone to carry their art. But anyway, and then also, I really, really liked the premature burial. Just because it kind of like I feel like everybody has this fear of being buried alive. And it just made me feel really creeped out.
It made me think of the other story where the wife, he killed the wife or whatever,
yes.
But like she was buried and she got up out of it. Like it also made me think about that. I also realized in our reading that there are some things that there's a lot of being buried alive. Like there's a lot of killing your spouse. Like there's quite a few things if we're being honest, right? Like
Yep.
The other thing I thought about the Oblong Box was like the main character was definitely full of himself. He just kept being like, I just, of course, I was so smart that I figured it out and did it. And it was like, but you was dumb the whole time. You didn't figure out nothing.
I know you didn't figure out anything, which is hilarious because even though this is part of there's actually a detective series that these stories are connected, like a detective series. So you see a lot like murders from the Rue Morgue and like that secondary story and stuff. So there's a detective series that's going on, and the Oblong Box is a part of that series. But it's so funny because it mentioned that even though it's a part of the detective stories, the narrator or the detective didn't solve it
at all.
Not at all. And he was actually pretty dumb. And I actually really liked about the Oblong Box. I found out because I did the research that it was actually based on an actual murder that happened, and someone was trying to cover it up and transport the body without being caught. So it's based on the murder of Sam Colt by his brother John. So John disposed of Sam Colt's body in a crate, filling it with salt. So that's how he did it in
Sam Colt, the gun creator?
I don't know. Let's find out. Sam and
because I could be tripping, but maybe it's a supernatural reference that I made up. But I feel like Sam Colt was a gun creator, and I feel like I didn't make that up though.
Oh yeah, yep. Brother of gun maker Samuel Colt. Yep.
Okay, so it's the same dude. So Samuel Colt was killed that way?
Yep.
Wow. Talk about full circle.
John Colt, brother of gun maker Samuel Colt, killed a man in 1841 and tried to ship his body to New Orleans in a box. Then he married his wife. He married Sam's wife.
Wait, so he shipped another dude, or he shipped
it was his brother. And then after he did that, John married Sam's wife after he killed him.
You ain't gonna tell me Sam's wife wasn't a part of that. You ain't gonna tell me that she ain't helped that man kill her husband.
That's so true.
Because why would I marry you?
Exactly.
If I love my husband, bitch, you gotta die. What'd you kill my baby for? What? I don't like it. Does this mean that we probably gonna dig into something a little bit more? Because now I'm curious about how this all. Did he not go to jail? How? Wait, what happened?
Let me look up the article if my phone would.
I got questions.
I have
What
let me.
do? Why? What I get the wow for? What I do? I'm just
you did a plot
the
twist.
information.
You
or
did
were
a
you
plot
saying
twist.
wow that I was like, wait, ain't that the gun on it? Here's the thing, I only know because of Supernatural. Your girl is a real big Supernatural fan.
Honestly, I didn't even connect that. Fake fan.
Well, because you remember the cult is a big part of the series, like in the beginning.
Yeah.
That's the gun they're trying to get. So
yeah. Oh, let me go ahead and put this article that I have. No, stop it. In the chat. So hold on one second.
Okay, so as we wait to see if that is, which story was giving you major side eye to this week? The spectacles.
Probably. Thank you.
Probably because it was 20 pages long, but like for real, I was like, "Sir, what are we doing here?"
Yeah, exactly.
Can you tell me? I don't know. Did I not get enough sleep? Did you not get enough sleep? What is going on in this story? Did you find out anything research wise? What was going on in the story? I didn't know.
No, I didn't. I didn't find anything, and I was looking hard because I was literally giving this story side eye. I'm like, you have a story about a man who is refusing to wear glasses and sees someone, falls in love instantly, and when they get married, then he puts his glasses on and it turns out to be his great grandma.
I was just like, what is it with y'all and exploring the Oedipus complex? Because it really just don't make sense to me. Like, your great grandma, her voice didn't sound, you didn't hear her eating, and she, maybe the fact that she don't, because it's the 1800s, so she gonna lose her teeth faster than we normally do. So I'm just saying,
lost her teeth at 40.
Nothing about. How old is your great grandma, sir? Your great grandma, sir?
It's not just a regular grandma. It's great grandma.
Grandma, right? It's not a millennial grandma who might be like 35, 36, because I'm just saying.
That happened.
I'm just saying it's not millennial grandmama, right? My grandma was Gen X and she was 37 when I was born. So all I'm saying is it's possible.
It's possible. It's possible for sure.
But great grandma, on the other hand, my great grandma was in her 80s. So no, it wasn't the same, is all I'm saying.
Exactly. And the thing about the voice, like your voice changes when you age.
It changes. First of all, your voice changes. Like you go through multiple voice changes.
Yeah.
That's why second puberty is a thing. Right. So like why? There are so many times where I was just like.
And it's even said on their wedding night, he puts on his glasses and she is a toothless old woman. Even if you couldn't see with glasses, you had to have figured that out.
You didn't hear that? She didn't get no sloppy toppy? Because I imagine it would have been super sloppy because she ain't got no teeth. I got questions, sir. Got questions.
I was like, what?
So did you convince yourself that it was the glasses that made her look that way, or did you believe that like she didn't look that way before? Like I just got questions because like this whole time the glasses is what made you see that she didn't have teeth. I don't believe it. I just don't.
I don't believe it either. Especially because I was like, I really wanted there to be something in the history of what Edgar Allan Poe was going into.
My grandma was 45 when I was born, right? Like there be young grandmas.
Oh yeah.
There be young grandmas.
Honestly, I was just really, as I was reading the story, I was really worried about Edgar Allan Poe's like mental health at this point. Like, I was really concerned.
I'm sorry, that was funny to me.
So I really wanted to, like, when I did the research, I really wanted to find something, and I was like, "Is he struggling at this time?"
Because here's the thing: Pfaall is like less than 10 years older than me, and he always got something to say about like the age difference to be funny. So like. I know women are worse about this because I know the way I be talking to Britt, like, ooh, you young, yeah. Girl, you young. So I know she was like whippersnapper, I know she said you little young boy. You don't know nothing about that little young. You didn't hear her. You didn't hear her.
But also, like, you, like, even if you didn't kiss her and like
you didn't feel her
hands, her skin.
I'm not saying old people don't got soft hands, but I am saying they're a little wrinkly.
Yeah,
they're a little
wrinkly.
There's like
unless you wore gloves
a little bit, you feel it. You know, there's like, I'm just, you know what? I'm not about to play with you, Pat. I'm not about to play with you. I'm not gonna play with you talking about it was smoggy. Just here's the thing, okay. I was hoping that when he put them on, that it was like, I was really hoping it was a monocle. Like, I was really hoping that's what it was gonna be. But when it was like, nah, you got two lenses, bruh.
Both eyes are terrible. Both eyes are bad.
Both eyes are terrible, and you just, how you know both eyes? Like, I just was not.
But yeah, he just like refused to wear glasses because vanity. Like, what?
I mean, but how do you feel now that you can see her though? You still feeling vain? I got questions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's why
I had a lot of questions.
Oedipus.
Yeah.
Oedipus. Also, can I say that when I think about the fact that there was a Greek tragedy where, because like in the tragedy, Oedipus doesn't know that it's his mother or his father when he does either of those things, right? Like it's not his knowledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
So like the fact that happened in a play, right? And then somebody was like, I'm gonna make this a psychological thing that men think about in real life, and I'm gonna tell y'all this is a thing, and y'all are gonna use this for the rest of time to determine how men are. Like, that's insane. Yeah. This totally fictional play that somebody wrote is a whole thing.
It's a whole psychological component that it is evaluated.
Right.
And there's evidence and statistics. Like, it's kind of crazy.
Do everybody even know this play exists? Like, why would you think that just because a man is born, he want to sleep with his mama and kill his daddy? Like, why is that a thing?
I don't know.
Like, this young man didn't even want to sleep with his mama and kill his daddy because he gouged his eyes out. Like, he wasn't happy. Like, I just feel like, right? Like, I feel like, yeah, some men, but all of them, because like he wasn't his theory that all men are this way.
All men, yeah.
All men, right. Yeah. Freud was 100% Zulu when he came up with a lot of his ideas. Right. I wish that we would acknowledge that, right? Like, I wish that we would acknowledge how much drugs were taken at these points of time. Like, we don't acknowledge how high all the founding fathers and everybody, like, if we're being really honest, because they ate and drank and did things that we didn't. Like, they alcohol wasn't our alcohol, y'all.
No, they
were getting drunk off some drunk stuff. Like, bruh, like how their liver survived, only God knows.
Right. You know that, when you make moonshine at home and it's that first cup you just pour out because it's pure ethanol, that's what they were drinking. That's just what they were drinking for breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Right. It's crazy.
They were drunk all the time. All the time.
That is crazy. Yeah, no, early cataracts for real, because bruh, I'm thinking like there has to be film, and that's the thing is glasses don't remove the film on your eyes. So what were you seeing, fam? Like, what were you seeing? Like,
my question is, if he couldn't see and he just pretended, like everything is a blurry blob to him, right? So what did this blurry blob do that made I'm in love with her?
Right? It was the most beautiful blob you saw.
The most beautiful blob.
Also, how you don't know your great grandma voice? Is your great grandma not been in your life? You ain't, like, she your great grandma, so you ain't heard her life. Like, I'm not. My grandpa ain't gonna be able to pretend to not be my grandpa. What you mean?
That's so
what
true.
What you mean?
They would have to be super estranged, like never met in your entire life.
So, but then that means you turned your glasses on. How would you know it was your great grandma? Pictures ain't really that thing just at this time, right?
Pictures is not.
I got questions.
Yeah. Yikes. Yep. Yikes.
Right. But this is the man who married his cousin. So, we go with the flow.
Yeah, we just go with it. We just go with it.
I love us so much. Okay, with 2 weeks to go, what are you looking forward to the most about the read along? Wait, so according to Britannica, there's very little empirical evidence to prove the theory's validity. Duh!
Very little.
She knew she nasty. Right. She nasty. She wanted some of that. Well, we've already talked about they like to keep it in the family. So we talked about this. Now, why are you trying to keep it in grandma? I don't know, because she can't bury children. So I just don't understand what's going on at this point. There is no legacy to continue. So again, we back to she knew and she nasty, Tanika. That's just where we landed on it.
Maybe it's the fact that she had no teeth. You didn't have to worry about,
That's what I said. But then you didn't. How you ain't know she was old? You thought she was young and didn't have no teeth? Explain it, sir. Explain it. I feel like you knew she was your grandma at the fact that she gave you that sloppy toppy and there was nothing impeding her journey. It was all, go past go and collect $200. It was good.
He was like, she's an old woman, but she gives great head. I don't know.
I just feel like, I don't know. My grandma used to say all money ain't good money. I done heard it say all kitty ain't good kitty. I'm going to say all head ain't good head. I'm going to just throw that in there on the tail end of that. How about that?
Maybe it was just the best he had ever had.
I mean, she's great grandma, so she probably knows some things. Here's the truth. You don't get to be a great grandma and you ain't, done some things.
That's true. That's true. Even back then.
Great grandma, you had to do something with at least one person. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Of what we have left in here, I am curious about. So what we have left, the only things that I've read are, the only thing that I have read is Hot Frog.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What we have left. I'm curious about the Sphinx, the balloon hoax, and the literary life of Thingum Bob Esquire.
Yes.
Because Esquire's a lawyer, so I'm just curious about
Thingum Bob.
Right, like I'm Thingum Bob. Also, did we also notice that there was a Negro valet on the boat in the Oblong Box? And I was like,
yep, nameless. Didn't have a name.
And the only time he's mentioned, you never ever mentioned that there is any other Black person working on this boat. It's so weird.
It is very weird.
Hey, Fiction and Flora, hello. It's so good to see you. I hope you are having a fantastic night. Could you let me know your pronouns in the chat? I do not want to misgender you. My question is why she was marrying her great grandson. Cause them young whippersnappers ain't nothing like that young thing. That's what she's trying to tell y'all. Them great grandpas can't do what the young ones can, apparently.
She said, I still have needs. I still have needs.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. What it made me laugh. Okay, what I just saw in my head was on white chicks when they're like, your mama's so old and she breastfeed, like, it come out like this, right? But I was thinking about what we talking about. I was just like, So it's all I'm saying. It's the Wayans brothers' fault. Is all I'm saying.
Oh my god, that movie is so funny.
The lesson for tonight: don't sleep with your great grandparents. Like, I mean, you would think it should be, a given, but
I know. And I love how, like, in the analysis and everything of this is like, oh, it's like, don't be vain. It warns readers against like vanity. And I'm just like, it should be like, don't marry your grandparents.
Here's one thing, right? It's supposed to be like, don't be vain, but also you're not that vain that you didn't go get your eyes checked out to know you need glasses. So like, would you go do all that for to not wear them?
Exactly. It's like you went through that whole thing. You went to the doctor, you got glasses, but then you're not wearing
now. So I feel like it definitely wasn't cheap to get glasses then. If you had bad eyes, you just had bad eyes and had to pray that you could distinguish things. This man had glasses and was just like, I'm not gonna wear them.
I'm not gonna wear them.
I'm not gonna wear them.
Privileged. Gosh.
Man, okay. You said it. You said it, Nicole. You said it. You said it. And old boy said, I'll take the no teeth for 200.
The no teeth. Yep.
That's what he said. What are you looking forward to the most about the read-on?
I am looking forward to bragging that I finished this whole thing, but then also
very good.
I'm also looking forward to some words with a mummy, like an actual mummy. Like I'm intrigued
curious.
by that
Right.
title. I'm intrigued. With everything that we have left, I have never heard of, except for the balloon hoax, I've never heard of anything else. I've never heard of any of these. So, but yeah, I'm really interested in mummy and also the Sphinx. You know, any kind of Egyptian stuff. I'm really really excited about.
Yeah.
But yeah, that those two, and yeah, like I said, I'm really excited about saying I
If
read
I remember
this whole
correctly, I
thing.
feel like Hot Frog is kind of like thrillerish, so I'm excited to read another thrillerish
Yeah.
story.
Mhm.
But it was high school, so it could be my imagination. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, love, they, them. I will remember that when I see you in the chat again. Thank you so much for being here. Remember that. Fiction and Flora, they, them. Got it.
Read them.
Yeah, no, I can't believe we only got 2 weeks left.
I know.
And it's crazy because like had we not had life happen, we would have been done by now, and that's even crazier to think that we would have been done already because it doesn't feel like we're moving slow. Like it doesn't
No.
at all. Like it feels like we're moving like right along. So that's even funnier.
I feel like we're moving through this just because with the poetry we did 16 poems, and then with the short stories we're doing 9. Like so, it's just like we're not.
It's quite a bit. It is quite a bit.
Breakneck pace, and I understand. Like we need a break.
No, for real.
But yeah, just to think, like if we had stayed, like if we like you said, if we had stayed on track, like this would have been our last live.
Right, this would have been our last live.
I'm
not ready for it to end yet. I'm having a good time, Nicole.
Me too. I'm loving this, and I'm really excited that we're gonna do the watch-alongs too. So I'm really excited about
when
that.
we get off of here, we need to see which ones we can see and like how we want to do it and whatnot. Because I am totally down for sure. So next week we will be on Nicole's channel back at our normal 7:30 Central. Wait, does it still work? 7:30 now because of your work schedule. Yeah, 7:30 Central, 5:30 Mountain Western. No, Arizona time, right? Because Mountain is still 5, right?
We're currently on Pacific time.
Pacific time, right? Yeah. So Arizona is on Pacific time, and then Mountain time is an hour behind me, and East at 8. Okay, y'all know what y'all time frames are. I don't know why I was doing that out loud. Anyways, I don't know.
Time zones are hard.
They are.
But now that daylight saving time is no longer going to be a thing, we're just going to be 2 hours apart.
The way they're waiting 2 years to do that, and then they're going to start it as daylight saving time. It's like, why?
Why?
And why are y'all doing the one where we lose an hour? Get it together.
I know. Like,
why?
No,
y'all going to just stop us from getting an extra hour? I dislike y'all, for real. I'm really dislike y'all. 100%. It's the choices that y'all made that don't make no sense. It's like the dude that I shared on my story who was like, Federal Reserve, what are y'all doing? I need y'all need to get somebody from Walmart up in there so we can roll back this inflation because it don't make, roll back to have that yellow smiley face cutting down everything. Y'all need to let them in here. And I was like, for real though. He was like, I don't know who told y'all to do this, but y'all doing too much. Like it don't make no sense.
Exactly.
Who voted for this increase? Nobody.
Just waiting for the recession.
Thought I knew English history, but thanks. More interested in school. Here's the thing. The way we don't be knowing nothing until we start reading something. Like you be like, oh dang, they taught us all this wrong history. Yes,
100%.
Like the way that nobody really realizes that when it comes to American history, you literally learn about your current president, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Abraham Lincoln. Like that's it.
That's it.
It's been 45, 46 of them months.
Yep. Nothing. And whatever they taught, I don't remember it.
Right. Like I remember more than most, and I know it was because I was homeschooled, so we were getting it drilled into our head every day. Like I can still name off at least the first 16 in chronological order.
Whoa.
Right.
Not me.
I'd be like, why?
Yeah.
Like, but you had to take history every year. You had to take social studies every year. What were they teaching that whole time? Like, think about that, right?
I couldn't tell you.
Exactly.
I could not tell you. Could not.
I
But
will
don't teach me how to do my taxes. No.
Right, don't teach me about the stuff I actually have to do for the rest of my life, right?
Exactly.
Because like there's a time that y'all made us learn all the counties in Oklahoma. I'm not gonna visit all 77 counties of Oklahoma. Why do I need to know their names? I'm just saying.
But I do know that state song that I can sing all the states in alphabetical order.
I don't know the song, but I can say them in alphabetical order, but I don't know the song.
It's the song. It's really great at parties.
Is it really?
No.
Okay, wait, is it really? No. Let me find out. Arizona, like you gonna learn your geography today, boy. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do we have anything else? I feel like we're
let me check.
Oh, you gotta give us our little history lesson.
Yeah, this week wasn't really that great in the history, but yeah, just that Byron and Miss Chaworth was written at the request of a publisher. The Oblong Box was based on a real life murder, which I did link. I did in the comments. I did put that. I don't know if you want to take that and put it in the description box for people on the replay want to watch it or read it or whatever.
I might need you to put it in a private chat so I can copy it because it's only kind of letting me click on it right now.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let me do that. Hold on. Do I still have it? Is it still available as a paste?
You know what? Yeah. This actually sounds dope as hell. I would love a historical T course as a historical elective in school. I would. That honestly would not have been bad. I would have to agree with you there.
I did on the research as well. A Tale of the Ragged Mountains. It was partially based on his experiences as a student at university. I don't really know how. But yeah, that was a little interesting.
I feel like money had to make your college experiences different because this man didn't even finish.
He didn't. Nope. Oh, and also about the premature burial, like being mistaken for dead. It happened a lot, especially back in the olden days.
Right, because they didn't know how to check for like weak pulses and stuff.
Right. So, especially because there's a certain, it's catalepsy, and it's an actual medical thing where it's muscular rigidity and decreased sensitivity to pain. So that happens to
like if they stabbed you with something, you didn't react to it. So
nope. So they thought you were dead, and that is when they, during that time where they actually like attached a string to the corpse's finger, and they fed it up to outside that's attached to a bell. And so if they were alive, they would start moving and they would ring the bell, and then they would know, they would undig your grave and get you out of there.
Oh, that's why that's where the like being buried with bells on, or like with bells on. That makes sense.
And I would hate to be like the graveyard person on that night.
To hear that, bruh.
Yeah, I'd be like, dang. But I think that. Oh, and the system of Dr. Tar and Professor Feather. So Edgar Allan Poe actually wrote this because it was written during the time when people were calling for asylum reform, because obviously a lot of terrible things were happening to people in insane asylums back then. So a lot of people in different parts of the world were calling for asylum reform to treat the patients more humanely. And so that is where that short story came from. So I thought that was really interesting.
Okay. Yeah, no, I just went and looked up, and I can get to like the first 21 without messing up. But after that, like, if you say one, I'll get like the next 3, and then I need you to say another one, and I get like the next 3. But like, other than that,
Fiction and Flora. I love how you're like, I unfortunately can recite all the precedents in order.
That's why I put a bell on top of a grave. That's crazy to think about. I'm
It
not gonna
just
lie though,
happens
like
so
being
much.
buried alive is definitely a fear that I had. Like quicksand, being buried alive, being stuck in the elevator were all like real fears that I had as like a child.
Yeah, definitely being buried alive for sure.
I would always opt to take the stairs because in every movie they got stuck in the elevator and I just like no. And the way I knew quicksand was gonna be a monthly problem, just knew.
I honestly
knew I was gonna need to know how to get out of quicksand.
Quicksand, seriously. Also, another. Hi.
It's good to see you. Go ahead.
Another irrational fear that I had was that a great white shark in the pool.
Okay, yeah. I never had that one, but I did have that about the ocean. Like when we went to Florida, I was like, no, there's sharks out here. I was like, girl, you better get in this water. There's sharks.
Didn't matter how big or small the pool was. If I couldn't see behind me as I was swimming, there was a shark back there. 100% there was a shark back there.
That's so cute though. Oh, you lucky you didn't have like a bunch of brothers, cause bruh, the way brothers use stuff like that against you,
I know.
Man, drowning for real. Big facts. All right, y'all. Next week we will be on the lovely Nicole's channel, and then we will be ending it on my channel. And we'll let y'all know about the videos and the watch party and whatnot. Yes. Definitely gonna be using Amazon Prime because it's easier to do watch parties through Twitch with that. So just definitely be aware of that. So that might hinder who can watch it. Do apologize on that front. Once these companies stop trying to be cheap and not allowing people to stream and share their screen, you know.
I know.
Since everybody put in their code that you're gonna see a black screen, you know.
I know.
We'll figure it out.
Netflix.
I know, right?
Talking to you.
I found a workaround with StreamYard.
Oh, did you?
I found a workaround with StreamYard. 1 year private school did in my head forever. We had to recite them every morning along with the preamble to Constitution. See, so we didn't have to do it in Spanish, but we had to do that. We had to do like the 50 states and capitals because I was homeschooled. So like, imagine your like the biggest wall in your living room, and imagine like posters with everything in there. So like the Greek alphabet, Swahili alphabet,
Greek alphabet.
Yeah, like all these, and now imagine thinking you know the Greek alphabet and going to Greece and realizing you only learned the lowercase letters.
That's not even
because
right.
when you get there, everything is written differently, and it's like I ain't never seen those letters before. Yeah,
I've never seen that before.
Right. Thanks again, both. It was fun, informative, interesting. It's either you've only seen the capital letters or lowercase. I can't remember, but one of them you haven't seen. The other set is the whole point. See, it's harder to read stuff than you think.
Gosh. That's just
I know, right? Good night, loves. Thank y'all so much for being here. I want to thank you for being here, even if you're here now or you're watching back on the replay. Don't forget to comment and tell us what are your favorite stories, which stories you didn't like. How are you feeling about this read along? Are you still like, I see why ADP is one of the classics, or are you like, nah, fam, throw it in the bag, we done? Like, he was a classic. This was written almost 200 years ago. Can we figure something out? So that's the thing, is some stuff you can't share your screen anymore. Like you'll share it, but like the other people watching will only see a black screen. Like they done got real slick with it. But all right, y'all have a great rest of your night. We'll see y'all next week on the Code Channel. Bye.